So it's just like, what?
Oh, you're going. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have the whole. What up, everybody? Good morning.
Hey,
Welcome to another edition of Brothers of Legacy.
welcome back. It's
Welcome back.
been a long week.
Welcome back. Yeah.
Should have had that playing in the background, but then
Right.
Facebook would have.
Right. That's what I need to learn to play. Like I have a little keyboard, like doop 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 doop. But then again, YouTube picks that up as well.
Really
Crazy, yeah. Because I have
they
our
killed.
musician Mike on the church.
Yeah.
He plays straight song, like there's no record, no nothing, and YouTube always hits like, "Yo,
No flag them.
that's somebody's song." Right. So
How you gonna pick up on something?
pick it up, like it was like, is it? One time he did a song, and it's some Spanish song. I was like, that ain't even the song. That ain't the song.
Those with Despacito, you good, I guess. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. Yes, welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, so
for sharing too.
Real off topic. So you said, so you doing, so it's gonna be all you guys on TikTok, like all four of you guys on there?
Right. Yeah, just audio.
Oh, okay.
Just audio.
Okay.
Well, it'll be live on my TikTok.
I got you. Now, I mean, they will see your face, but they'll be able to hear you.
Everybody, right?
All right. Or like you can probably put the camera, do like a screen on screen,
but
like, they'll be able at least to hear.
Yeah, so kind of like that.
Yeah, but they'll at least be able to hear you clearly.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. My position right there look pretty good.
Don't mind my desk is chunky, but this is what it is.
All right.
We totally off topic. We wait for people to come in here because I really they don't forgot that we back today.
Yeah, they forgot. I'm giving them a second. So today we're talking about what does 13% mean? What does 13% mean?
I don't even know what it means, to be truthful with you.
You said you said what?
No. What's our 13%? What's that?
The 13% of us in the United States population. Oh. We got 13%. 13%.
Oh, okay.
So if you think about that,
we're at 17%, right?
You said what's that?
So 13% from 100%, 97, right? I can't count, yo. Is it no, it was 87.
Yeah.
Okay.
But within the 87, 27% is Hispanic. And then there's got the Chinese. It breaks down a little more. White's about 67. So yeah. But if you think about that, what's up, everybody? Great morning to you. Make sure you share. Greetings, Mama McCory. Bless you. Bless you. And if you think about that, are we really underrepresented, right? So if there's an industry that we're trying to break into and, blacks only are 25%, are we underrepresented? You know what I'm saying? We got to think ratio to numbers. Like how many of us in the industry, how many of us are in this? Are we really underrepresented? Good morning, Dwayne.
What up?
Hey,
good in the building, boy. What's happening, man? I missed you.
It's been a while, man. Too much sadness going on.
It feels like it's been like a month. I know it hasn't. But it feels like it's been a month.
Yeah. Right. You said too much sadness going on.
Yeah, bro, man. R.I.P. Earl Simmons.
Oh man, that thing hit me, boy.
Yes, sir.
And like, hey, Yvonne, that hit me. So I was in Idaho this weekend for a wedding, and once he passed, I was in my rental car, and so I started blasting "Party Up," and Rough Out of Anthem. I was chilling. I had to because
I will.
My dogs go.
I will say it is sad. I will say,
AD, don't you say anything crazy on this broadcast, man.
I'm gonna keep it 100.
Go ahead.
No, we knew where he was at for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
he chased them demons. He did.
It's sad that it had, that he could never shake it. It's sad that he could never become more. I know he had a lot of children. Ayana,
like 15.
Ayana Van Zandt. I always say her name wrong. Forgive me, guys.
That's it.
She even tried to fix his life. There was a whole episode with him on it, and with his kids.
Broke herself though. I don't impress me.
Wait,
No, I'm just saying.
I ain't saying. Listen, I ain't saying she's perfect.
No,
I
I
ain't
know.
saying she's because sometimes you like you're a little bit much. You a bit much.
Yeah.
But
She's a lot actually. But
I know. Like I don't know. I the best thing I've seen. And we're gonna dig into the show, guys. I know we got to talk about this. Was thing with Russell Simmons. Did you guys see it on Instagram?
What he do now?
No, chill out. This
Oh,
is chill out. Chill out.
What
He was
do?
talking about DMX because Def Jam signed DMX.
Yeah.
And he literally
DMX
said,
saved Def Jam's.
yeah, he's saved Def Jam. And at the end, he just was like, yo, he wish he could have done more. You know.
See, but I understand it, but like so many other people,
Yeah.
businesses treat people the same way people treat people.
Yeah.
And here's the reality of it. Yeah, we all know that that DMX, we know that he had a crack addiction.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not new.
Right.
As a 15-year-old kid, the person he looked up to the most, like, hey, let's try this blunt here.
Right.
I ain't telling you it's laced with crack because that kid didn't smoke a drink. I mean, and I ain't making excuses, but there are circumstances that we do got to be able to recognize. Like when your mom takes you to a group home to visit and then leaves you.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I mean, he's had a lot of pain, and I think it was one of the reasons why.
What's up, E?
I had so much respect for him.
Right.
Like, he still loved people.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He was. If more Christians were like DMX, and I say it from this. Listen to this point of view now. Before your eyeballs pop out the back of your head.
I'm listening. I'm
with you. How many Christians? And I'm doing this right. Let me look at. I'm gonna do the quote. I'm gonna do the code, and I'm gonna do the air quote. Quotes Christians.
Where's Cole? Let's look him in here.
How many people say, "I'm gonna pray for you, brother. I see you going through. I'm gonna pray for you." You know what I noticed about DMX? Whenever he was talking to anybody interview him, and they brought up a hard time that they was going through or something, he was like, "Hey, yo, let's pray right now."
Yeah,
and he would pray. Yeah, right then and there. He wouldn't let it slide.
Ephraim said DMX is top 50.
I ain't even gonna comment on it. Look,
DMX top 5.
Lyrically, I'd say X should drop no further than 15 lyrically. As an artist, he nobody will ever be better to me.
Right.
But that's neither. I just it goes beyond the music. Like I said, for me, DMX was like Tupac and Biggie combined.
Yeah.
He was a lyricist that made you feel everything he said.
And now, you know that I don't know if you guys have heard that the cancel culture is trying to cancel DMX.
That's why they need to be canceled.
Yeah. They're trying to cancel.
If you've never had
you cancel them.
They never had cornflakes, can they cancel cornflakes?
Wait. What's the issue? I mean,
the cancel culture is trying to cancel DMX after his passing because he did in a lot of his music make a lot of homophobic statements in his music. Now, he made a lot. You know,
is it homophobic though? We label. I'm just saying people label stuff all the time because just because you say that you gay. Don't make me homophobic for saying apple's an apple.
I don't know, but
I'm saying cancel culture. This is this is my opinion, not the Brothers of Legacy.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I would say to that, not sure how far they're going back. What is the word from Disney? Culturally, man, it's no. The word they use for their old movies, to cover like a statement gosh, it was great. Oh man, someone on here. I know if Cole was it. He always remember. He's like as odd memory like mine. He remember those those weird stuff. Basically, things that were said because someone was saying, "Yo, Eddie Murphy, Raw could not come out now." Delirious could not come out now. Because of some of the things, some of the language, some of the things that was spoke were during that time acceptable. Think about Living Color between Men on Films and Handyman.
Yeah,
Handyman.
So if that's the case, cancel my man.
No, but what I'm saying. So during that time, some of the stuff he spoke about was culturally accepted. You know what I'm saying? It was culturally acceptable. It's the stuff now when you're producing now, like we're more aware. Like D ain't produced music like that in a long time. So it's right. Let's see. You have to understand the context. Which he says things, right. You're speaking towards the behavior of heterosexual men who are acting like female. That is true too. Especially what's that song? Y'all gonna make me lose. That whole.
Yeah. He said any child you've done before.
He's whack. He twisted his girls up.
Right. Yeah.
And everybody know I love my baby mama. I never let it.
But so I don't want to go into a whole DMX line. So we're gonna. I'm just saying, cut it. But I appreciate you. Listen, I mean, he was a good rapper. He was different. He was unique. And he had his contribution. He was. I wish because I was especially watching. I pray for I mean, I was hoping for more. I was hoping there'll be a break, especially after he did verses. Like I was hoping there would be a revitalization.
Well, he was working on
outdated cultural depictions. Yeah.
But is it really outdated?
Well, it's unacceptable now. Like before, it was
extremely unacceptable now.
To who? To who?
By we the cancel culture. You can't say nothing now.
Exactly.
You can't.
No,
I'm just saying. What I'm saying is,
we or they. Who is the cancel culture though? Because you got to identify those. They're the same thing as everybody else. People who are trying to make their way the right way.
Right, but see, cancel culture it's a open membership. I mean, because if you feel offended by anything, you can automatically be part of cancel culture. Because all you got to do is to hear something and say, you know what, and then go right on TikTok on your platform and say, we got to cancel this. And then
people got to feel what you're feeling though.
A lot of people feel what they feel. This
can Karen start canceling people?
Yeah, if she wants.
If there are enough Karens.
Yeah, and
that's my point.
I guarantee you, there are plenty of Karens out here. That's like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying that's my point. So that's why I said outdated cultural depictions. It depends on who you're talking to because they tried to cancel Kirk too. Remember?
Yeah, but
that was a
but they did.
It was about 5 people outside his house on that one. He was alone. They were alone on that one.
Everybody was on Kirk's side.
They wanted to.
I'm saying, but they attempted to, and then the pushback came because you get tired of telling you how to believe and feel.
Yeah,
right. But the thing is, with everything that goes down, it's like, okay, Dwayne said something bad. I've hated Dwayne already. I was just waiting for the moment. So I saw my little tidbits on post. Did you see what he did? Is this acceptable? Did you see? I start trying to light a fire. Then they were like, yeah, I seen it. It's fine.
But
right.
It's the same.
It's fine.
It's the same
fine.
thing as these
I'd have done the same thing. So once they get their pushback, like,
yeah.
So
the cancel culture rests on somebody's being perfect, on people being perfect. That's what the cancel culture rests on.
Not necessarily.
I want to hear this because in my mind, that's how they feed.
I mean, because we just say it like this. So if DJ was bigger, we know what we're talking about, right? DJ. I've been trying not to say folks' names.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
If DJ was bigger, right? And he would, and so if a person is speaking about a specific thing and saying, this is, trying to teach other people something, this is how I earn my living by teaching other people about a specific thing, then it turns around, they're a walking contradiction, right? They deserve to be canceled. Like, yo,
what's the walking contradiction?
If I'm talking to you, trying to tell
I'm
you
just
how
saying,
to walk,
is it a mistake? or is it a lifestyle? Because people don't talk about lifestyles; they talk about people with bad decisions sometimes.
Like Kevin Hart was a bad decision. He he got canceled from the Grammys.
And this is why I say they want perfection.
Right.
Because it's not about lifestyle. Because Kevin wasn't
clearly.
Kevin wasn't lifestyle.
Right. Clearly.
He was funny in a time where that was extremely funny.
Well, but I think, the thing is, it's not really perfect. Like with that situation, because his whole career wasn't canceled. We know that. It's just that moment. If I'm a company, like real talk, on Brothers of Legacy, we got somebody coming on and something shady happens, and they supposed to represent us. It's like, yo, do I want my brand attached to that, even though it was a mistake?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we, as a company, you're already struggling to survive. Like, I can't afford to attach this person, because they're hot to my name. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's one thing. Now, if you do something, Dwayne, that's different. That's
they don't care about me.
That's my man. No. You my man. You part of this crew. It's like, you gonna come on here and just be like, all right, hold on. Dwayne needs to say something, and it's gonna be like, boom, you got your moment. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna give that to you. Especially if we talk in private, I'm like, you explain that. I feel you. I need you to say that same thing in front of my folks, in front of our folks. So they know where we at, and we just gonna roll forward, and they just gonna either rock with us or they not. You know what I'm saying? Because we all in agreement that you've just messed up. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't a lifestyle. This is just a moment. All right.
Good question there.
We're gonna get another cancel. Okay, Dwayne, do you think there ever was a time that cancel culture was appropriate? Who should get canceled?
I think
that's a good question.
That cancel culture is never in America. Let me preface that by saying in America. I don't think that cancel culture should ever be appropriate. Here's what I think.
Welcome to the Brothers of Legacy, guys.
I think you need to address issues. Who should get canceled? David Dukes of the world should be canceled. People who are blatantly spreading hate against an entire race. This is pre David Duke. Now this is 1980s David Duke. That's what I'm talking about.
He tried to slide in there, though. He did try to slide in there.
He did.
He made a few steps until everyone found out, like, nah, brother, you got it.
Right. But when it comes to how people feel, I don't think you can. I say this all the time. I don't think you can legislate morality. And this kind of feels what the cancel culture tries to do. I mean, you can cancel something without canceling. You don't have to put it out there. If I know you don't like people who look like me, guess what? I just ain't rocking with you.
Right.
They don't need to be a PSA. Right. DMX is and DMX was no different from anybody else. Right. I know several people who had drug addictions. And look at the mayor of DC. Not saying that he did a great job. Not saying he did a horrible job. I don't live in DC. Didn't live in DC. I don't know what Marion Barry did, but I know he was a mayor smoking crack, and I know he got reelected as a crackhead mayor. That's what I do know.
Right.
Right.
So
even from coming through these questions this morning, I can't. I guess I locked myself out. I can't tell you.
I think can't legislate morality, right? Is there a difference between boycotts in the 60s and cancel culture today? Hold on. Hold on. Let me get to first the Ephraim. Let me jump in there on that Ephraim question. The cultural cancel culture was appropriate. Who should get canceled?
Yeah.
Sorry, I got stuck there for a minute.
It's okay. We all done that.
So with Dwayne, right? I was just thinking about when he brought up David Duke. If you don't know, he was a grandmaster, or probably still is, the
Grand Wizard,
Grand Wizard of Ku Klux Klan. Mm-hmm. In about the 80s, early 90s, he tried to make a presidential run. He made it about a good 2 blocks before they realized he was a Grand Wizard. They was like, nah, son, bro. You can't rock like that. You can't be open like that. You need to put that in the closet or something, So they kind of shut him down pretty quick. He didn't get too far where every African American in the country was like, nah, chief, I don't care what part are you part of? Nah, you're not allowed to make it. So he got shut down. But I was thinking, it's so funny when he says that. I was like, but what if he came out and was like, interracial marriage is not that bad. Like
Right.
what his folks have canceled him. Like I was just
they would have canceled.
like what they canceled.
Hey, what they say? That gummit. What he say?
Yeah.
So as far as the difference between the 60s and the cancel culture today, to me it's about the same. It's about the same because people boycott. It's just it happens faster because of social media. Because as soon as Terry does something, I got the video. I've shared it to Dwayne. Dwayne has shared it on his post. V has shared it on hers. Ephraim has shared it. Right. By the time Terry wakes up in the morning,
sir.
by the time Terry wakes up in the morning, he said, "My wife canceled my coaching club TV." I can't with you. By the time Terry wakes up in the morning, he done lost all his sponsors. I'm calling, Brother Legacy, like, hey, brother, you're gonna need to step down for a minute because that was you on that tape and it wasn't looking good.
Oh, well, like ESPN just fired one of their analysts overnight.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
He had to go. But we're not going to get in there. But can I say something real quick, though?
Yeah.
I think that we're talking about the difference between the boycotts in the 60s versus the cancel culture of today.
Right.
The 60s boycotts were based on something, right? They were people rioted in the 60s for something. I think this is just my opinion.
No. I'm with you.
And boycotts and riots I think they're all based on something. Cancel culture is different to me. Cancel culture is based, to me, on people's bias. People are biased. They don't like certain things, and they are looking for a reason to cancel something or to get somebody in trouble or whatever. I mean, if you look at TikTok, one of the biggest platforms on social media, I mean, there are people that will report somebody else's video, try to get them canceled because they didn't like their content. I think cancel culture is sometimes based simply on bias. I'm going to cancel you because I don't like you. There's one guy on TikTok right now. Name is he goes by the moniker I Speak 1906. Named Anthony Highland. Is a Navy person right now living in Hawaii. I mean, he has 1 million plus followers. But there are people every day trying to get him canceled simply because they don't like his content. I think cancel culture is based on bias. I mean, but who can be biased?
I mean, the protests was the protests were kind of like based on bias in the sense we didn't like how you were treating something or you didn't like how you was talking. It kind of was the same as cancel culture. See, it's bias or like jealousy. You can't have what I can't.
I hate you. That's what cancel culture is about.
I mean, I feel you, Ashley. I feel you. But Paul Pierce is wrong. No. Paul Pierce is stupid. He was stupid. You are on TV. Not. You are representing a brand. I'm just saying, like, that's stupid. Okay. Like, if I get a contract anywhere, you would never see me act like that purposely. I mean, Dwayne might pull the phone out like, "Yo, they show this," like, like.
But that's you, AD,
really post
bro.
That?
But AD, that's you, bro. I see. Here's the only thing that I disagree about what you say. Right,
go ahead, brother.
He didn't do anything illegal. How can you put something in a moral clause that's not illegal?
Right.
He was in Cali. Once again, you can't legislate. You can't legislate morality.
But it was the brand that he was representing ESPN. It wasn't like he didn't get arrested.
What illegal did he do though? He lost his job. I mean, for his personal life,
right?
Because he worked for a company,
right?
Which he didn't do anything illegal. Which he didn't do anything illegal, and he wasn't at work. I'm not justifying what he's done.
I know. I got what you're saying.
I just don't. I understand. I understand why it happened. I just don't agree with why it can happen.
I got you. I mean, I don't think. I think as a brand, you protect yourself, but at the same time, it's not like if I rock with him and watched him on ESPN when he goes to SNC or wherever, whatever sports channel, I would, like if I was a fan, I'm just a fan because, like I said, he didn't do anything illegal. He just show the party life that.
Can I flip it for you?
Yeah,
right?
Go ahead, bro.
Check it out. So you working for Bad Boy and their social media, right?
Right.
And then Puffy see a picture of you and Pastor together at church. You getting your praise break on, and Puffy was like, "Yeah, nah, that ain't with it," and he fired you because you got your praise break on,
right? Because I'm not representing Bad Boy. I mean, it sucks, but it's real.
Okay,
it's a moral clause.
Let me.
But
Wait, hold on, Dwayne. I got to, because if they're gonna fire Paul Pierce, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I get why ESPN fired Paul Pierce.
That morality clause.
The morality clause. However, you got Shannon Sharp over there on Fox, and he's on there. He's drinking cognac, and he's acting all ghetto, and he's talking crazy and smoking cigars and all that. Why didn't they cancel Shannon Sharp?
Well, he ain't putting nothing in the cigar. He ain't had no scribbles.
Well, that too, but he is. That's another brand. The brand canceled him.
But he's
we didn't. No one. I don't think anybody was like fired Paul Pierce. He just got fired.
Right.
ESPN's owned by ESPN owned by Disney. Think about that for a second. Disney.
Okay.
Disney.
Well, that too, but it's. I mean, like any brand. Like I said, if you put yourself out there, and you get a contract. I remember I watched. There was a Def Jam 25 or 30, whatever. Def Jam, with Def Comedy Jam, and all the comedians out there, everyone's talking junk, and Steve Harvey clearly said, he was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna say nothing up here that's gonna get me fired from any of my jobs."
Because he got like 13,
right, because he know he go off the rail. He's like, "I'm not following any of these jokes that's gonna get me fired." And he said that. He was like, "So we can talk junk," but he said, "I'm not gonna go off the rail," because he knew.
But didn't he get fired?
Well, he got fired because ratings, or whatever reason they fired him. But I'm just, but whatever. they never said it was. That was
no, but we know what it was.
Got by fired. Yeah. Huh?
What was it?
What was it?
Oh, read the Umpty's quote.
Oh, he didn't shuck and jive as good as he used to.
Oh,
who did shuck and jive?
Steve.
I mean,
Steve. Steve. I love Steve.
Been shuck and jiving for years, bro.
Right. Steve knew how to walk that ledge perfectly.
Right.
And then he tried to save somebody, Monique.
Yep.
And when he tried to save her,
did that get him? You think they got? He went. If you look at the interview, he didn't really. They kind of went at each other,
right?
Like it wasn't no warm
because she was salty because she was
pulled Steve off of his. It pulled him off his chair.
That's the image Fox wants.
And they was like,
I like that girl.
It was like, we're gonna get Taylor Swift your show now.
Oh well, see, I mean,
right?
We all know that.
She's so much more qualified than Steve was.
Man.
So I mean, Taylor Swift is
a singer with no TV experience, no talk show experience.
Hey,
Dwayne, we know why she got that job. We already know that.
It ain't that she just got the job. It's that she took Steve's job.
That's a different conversation, my brother. That is
okay. You're absolutely right. So you are absolutely right.
That's a different conversation. But hold on. What I did not do. Be right back. Let's throw this good intro in there. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another episode. Good morning, everybody. So now that we way off topic, we just
follow where we at now. No need to,
Cheryl said, "Hey, Cheryl, thank you for rocking in YouTube land. If we know you,
Cheryl.
But Sharp, he said Sharp likely represents the image Fox. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Exactly.
They're targeting that black audience.
Well, that too.
He gets in there and he just does way the most. I like Uncle Shannon, but he do the most.
I don't think on the show. I don't think he do the most.
Shannon, why can't I think Shannon? Is that the big glasses dude?
No, big head, looked like a horse.
He looked like a horse. Shannon Sharp. You know who Shannon Sharp?
He did a Charles Schwab commercial back in around 99, 2000.
Okay, I mean, like I don't know the name. I'm sure if I seen him, I'm like,
oh, good well who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think I know who he is. I'm sure.
You can't even spell Dow Jones.
No, but what I do, Shannon don't just, he ain't with the shenanigans. Yeah,
that was AD.
Yeah, he talks about his hand and he talks about his backwood cream.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But he also is the first person that will rip anything apart,
right,
eloquently. And people, and that's what I love about him, because they look at him and it's like, oh, this big dumb athlete from Georgia, and then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, wait, whoa, where'd that come from? How did he? Yeah, so I know Shannon, my boy.
So I like him doing football season.
So today we're talking cancel culture. So we appreciate you guys rocking with us. This is your opportunity to share. Make sure you share.
Yes,
sharing is caring. I kind of see. Let's see.
Shannon Sharp, if you talked less and looked more, I would be much happier.
What's going on with you, brother?
You said it was again.
He said Shannon's very entertaining. So many clips of him online. ESPN wouldn't dare get rid of what helps them trend. Indeed. Is that my work? Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask y'all this. Talking about cancel culture. So how do we feel about canceling R. Kelly? He is probably, outside of Bill Cosby, one of the mantras of cancel culture. When you look it up in the dictionary,
they've been trying to cancel R. They've been trying to cancel R for the longest. In my opinion, it's probably going to be unpopular here, but
it's probably going to be the truth.
I would cancel R. Kelly as far as the person he did, what his actions were. Now, his music, on the other hand, is something that I still bump to the day.
That's because he's been a star since you were 15.
Yeah, I mean, you can't cancel the music. You can cancel the person now. You can cancel the person. I just think that he, what he did to those women were atrocious. And I think that he deserves every day of jail time he gets. But his music, though, is
so my career and my legacy shouldn't be canceled based on my actions. Is that what you kind of saying?
Kind of. I mean, because his music.
Well, then Bill Cosby have an issue with you about that.
Man, he shouldn't have been. But see, Bill shouldn't have been canceled either. I mean, because of his actions, you can cancel the person,
right? And
what he did, and denounce his actions. Like Akeem and the Princess of Munda. I denounced my throne. That same thing. I thought that's what he should have. But
if you're really a prince, I'll marry you.
Right.
But his legacy, though, Bill Cosby was an innovator. Bill Cosby was the man. It's like R. Kelly in music. He's an innovator. He's a genius.
Right.
But his actions, I mean, personally, he was despicable. But his music.
Okay.
Because I made my first two babies off of Down Low.
All right, good job.
And there we go.
There it is. So Cole, what's your feeling? R. Kelly cancel, and the whole cancel culture in itself, because you just bust up in the conversation.
Well, the best song that I ever heard that involved R. Kelly. Haters wanna hate, lovers wanna love, but I don't want none of the above. I wanna pee on you.
It's the Dave Chappelle
pee on you. It's the best song anything R. Kelly related has ever happened.
Is that a real song?
No, he didn't sing
it.
No, it was
Dave
Chappelle. Dave Chappelle. And look, I will not be a hypocrite. I watched every video. I didn't buy any of his CDs,
right?
But I did listen to his music. Heck, I did watch Trap in the Closet. I mean, I saw all that. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, "Well, I never got his stuff." I did get some of his stuff.
I did.
Right.
However, the moment I realized that the things that he did back in the day, we just blew it off when he would be on the Apollo and back in 1994, and he have signs that held up that says 18 and above. I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
they've been talking about
that was an issue way back
decades.
when. Of course,
decades,
we all knew about her and Aaliyah even before then.
Right.
When all of that started to surface, I just got turned off by him. Music, person, I just got turned off by him, and he ended up being an entertaining caricature, such as when he got interviewed by Gayle King.
Oh God, that was a tragic.
You're killing me with this.
Right.
I mean,
like
he ended up just being funny. Yeah. Now, I don't want to cancel him because I personally think cancel culture in general is an absolute farce. Because somebody does something antithetical to a mob or to a certain or sector of life, that we just simply automatically just say, okay, forget this person exists. Forget all of what he or she does has ever happened on the face of this earth. No, just like personally, if you find some issue with that person, if you can make that decision with yourself. You want to continue on and patronize them, fine. If you don't, fine. But that's your decision.
Right.
Yeah, cancel culture just sucks altogether. And I personally just don't want to deal with R. Kelly.
Hold on. I was gonna say, let me get Dwayne's point, and you can jump up in there.
Oh yeah,
for me, it's gonna be real quick. I agree with what Cole said largely, and Cheryl, she made a point. There are many people whose legacy is separate from the man or the woman, and it's hard for us to separate things from time to time. But let me just be real. In R. Kelly's situation, I remember being a 15-year-old kid who had a crush on Aaliyah and was like, "Wait, she made a grown man." Am I the only person on this panel who remember that conversation? Y'all ain't had that conversation with y'all boys?
No. I also remember a song that R. Kelly wrote for. It goes, "Ain't nothing but a number."
Right.
I mean, come on.
So the way I see it is this.
And title the whole album after it.
People see stuff and they are okay with what they see until 50 other people ain't okay with it. Right. And then when 50,000 other people ain't okay with it, now they all got problems with it. But you ain't have a problem with it back in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
All of y'all knew he was marrying little girls. And Aaliyah wasn't the first one.
Right. Sure won't.
Everybody knew. But you know what happens? People allow gifts to have more weight than a person's actions. And that's why R. Kelly became the videos of escaping R. Kelly or whatever it was. That's what happened to Bill Cosby. That's what happened to all these other people allegedly, because I wasn't there. I ain't see nobody get bent over, did dirty. I'm not saying it didn't happen. All I am saying is this. If we stop being okay with stuff, when we see it, it shouldn't take a mob of people to be pissed off about something for it to be canceled. Now, if you don't mess with it, you just don't mess with it. I don't think you can I don't think you can completely take away R. Kelly, not at this point, because he's too deep in pop culture, black culture, R&B culture,
and music in general.
You can't, because he goes beyond that. How many people has he produced that you listen to? How many songs that he's written that you listen to? So his footprint at this point in life is beyond the cancel part. If you cancel him, you got too much stuff to cancel.
Yeah. So let me ask y'all this. Let's flip it a little bit, right? Because R. Kelly's close, Bill Cosby's close. We grew up. Our thoughts and for the most part of what we've seen, Bill Cosby was like the super dad, super family. That family, like, that's when I grow up, that's the family I want. Like us together and laughing and enjoying and talking, have the seriousness and the silliness.
It was all a dream.
Right? But what about, what's his name? I was Jerry Sandusky, the Penn State coach. Right.
That dude.
Right. You like that quote, right? I got to throw that in. I got to flip it on you. Should he have been canceled like he was because of the, I guess, I guess, found allegations, and the statue removed, and pretty much his whole legacy, because he died and everything was stripped.
You think about Joe
No. That's Joe Paterno. Jared Sandusky
was the assistant coach.
The assistant coach. But
now, Joe Paterno should not have been. No,
he knew,
and he knew though.
He knew. Not only he knew, right? Because he died like 2008-9. He knew for 3 decades.
Right.
Yeah, he knew.
Oh, so they did. So I didn't follow it that much because I was like, oh, sick Joker. He deserved whatever he get in prison.
Right.
But so they came out with Joe knew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah. Well, Joe, you know what? Welcome to the club. But
check, please. He done. You know.
So, I mean, so you guys feel like his legacy should have been canceled?
I think there's a difference.
All the wins, all the what's the Ara, he was straight into the illegal space as well. You know, like
but his career was different. His career was based on these young men.
Oh, hold up. When did this southern part come in you, AD? Aura? I thought you was a New York cat, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, son. All day, son. All day.
Aura, son. Aura.
Aura. Come on, son.
Man.
I'm just saying. So are we being biased with our cancel culture, brothers?
That's what yes, yes, we are. Yes, we are. If I guarantee, if Jerry Sandusky was black, the black community would not cancel him. They would do this. They would excuse and justify all those actions with
and
him.
That's the problem, though.
Just
that's
like with R. Kelly, know. but because he's white,
right?
People who look like us, they're like, no, lock him up, throw away the key, and if we can, electrocute him. I mean, it definitely is.
On his birthday.
But I think that's because of the allegation of the young. Well, you know what? It is the same as R. Kelly.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Same thing.
But R. Kelly made music. This is the only.
R. Kelly made music and he peed on teenage girls. I'm sorry.
And you're right. And you're right, Cole. And it's hard to disagree with. It's hard to even make a statement because I know that's coming after the statement.
And there's legal documentation that he married a 15-year-old girl.
No, so and you're absolutely this is the difference between the two men.
Now,
this is the only difference between the two men.
Yeah, there is a difference.
One's job was specifically young men at a college,
coaching
specifically, and then the other one was a musician who was a dirty old man.
Right.
So
I mean, I will say,
no, I get it. Cole, it's hard to disagree with you. It's
R. Kelly hard. In a sense, his
I just got good times with some R. Kelly music.
I get it,
and not even all on that level. AD, like
I get it. I get it. I mean, you hear my mind's telling me no.
Not even that.
Okay.
I'm dedicating this one to my favorite girl. Like I don't sing that song to my mama on Mother's Day.
I get it. I get it. You remind me of something. I can't put my finger. I get it. I get it. I can't see, babe. I get it, man.
Okay, hold on.
All of
I still can't figure out how
etc.
You said what?
I'm trying to figure out how I'm trying to figure out how he knew Mr. Biggs. Maybe I'm lost with that. I never did get
that. They went half on the baby.
They went half on the baby. Is that what happened?
Is that what happened? No,
it was Kelly Price. Song, it started with Kelly Price.
It was Kelly.
Yeah. Yes.
It started with Kelly Price.
And but
hold on.
No, hold on. Yeah, that's another.
Let me get some of these comments. Let's give me some of these comments. All right. So Ephraim said they tried to cancel J. Edgar Hoover and get his name removed off the building. How do you feel all the good he did for law and order should override his racist?
Great question.
I don't think you can classify it as good.
Great question.
I don't think you can classify it as good.
I mean,
Dwayne gave my answer.
He did the database for the criminals.
No. Hold on. What? So that database for a criminal that beats flooding the U.S. inner cities.
I'm just saying
with drugs.
I'm saying he didn't.
No, I'm just saying you said good.
I'm not confirming or denying that. Oh, so
he wiretapped MLK, dog.
Right. He did watch that MLK. But we talking about
and Malcolm.
They should have.
Exactly.
He was a cross-dressing. He was a cross-dressing dude. I mean, so
right.
They were stirring up the races. That was the problem. They were
stirring
up the races.
He was an ugly cross-dressing racist. Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the private. I'm gonna put it in the private chats because I ain't want nobody coming at the brothers, even though I don't care. I want all the smoke. You can bring all the smoke to me. I'm like them. I'm like Jacksonville rappers. If you don't know nothing about Jacksonville rappers, go YouTube Jacksonville rap beat. But I'm like Jacksonville rappers. I want all the smoke, but I ain't gonna put it out there.
As she said, all these artists are dating teen girls, and they turn a blind eye because they act grown. Someone needs to set an example. It's crazy because the jokes have been coming since the 90s about R. Kelly. R. Kelly is the greatest R&B artist of all time, but I haven't played any of his stuff to my two little girls. Right?
Wow. Because
I will scratch the greatest R&B artist of all time. I will scratch that part. No, sir.
Bobby Brown is the greatest R&B king of R&B.
Who said Bobby Brown? Did I hear Bobby Brown?
Bobby Brown. That's what Wiki said. Bobby Brown is the king of R&B.
Hey, you need to go get a urinalysis.
But that's a good point,
right
though.
now.
That's just that's a good point.
Because you probably smoking the same thing Bobby was smoking. If you say, look, I love Whitney. Whitney might have been the greatest of all time as a female.
Bobby was not.
Bobby
was
not.
And to your point, Ashley,
telephone man.
Oh Lord!
I was not the greatest R&B of all time. Sorry.
And to your point, Ashley, there was a singer back in the 50s, Jerry Lee Lewis. Dude married a 13-year-old girl.
His cousin too.
Nobody really was fire in the charts, and he married a 13-year-old girl.
One of his 13-year-old cousin.
I think it was a family member. Yeah.
I mean, think about Woody Allen.
Didn't Paul McCarthy? No, that's Woody Allen. He married his wife's daughter.
He married his stepdaughter.
His wife,
stepdaughter. Yes, I'm sorry.
It didn't count for him.
It's different.
It's my prerogative.
See, that's what R. Kelly is. See, but that's what Aura is saying. It's my prerogative. That's what Aura is saying.
So, as you said, met this girl the other day who was waiting for her boyfriend to announce their dating when she turns 18. Oh,
wow.
All right. So how old is she? I think they shouldn't be under 21. Stephen Collins, the pastor from Seventh Heaven, canceled. I don't know. I haven't seen that show in a minute. I don't know if it's still on replays or reruns.
I don't think he was, though. When that came out,
he wasn't canceled. He just was forgotten. No, I take that back. Forgotten. The media basically said, "Oh, so you're a pedophile? Okay." We ain't gonna talk about your funky behind no more.
Right.
And media canceled him.
And Mama McCoy, she dropping some dimes over there.
I missed
I didn't even know Elvis was. What Elvis did?
Don't be talking about Elvis. Don't you dare.
Elvis married Priscilla, and Priscilla was 16. Well, dated Priscilla. She was 16.
She was young. Yeah, she was young.
How old was Elvis?
Right.
Elvis was in his 20s. He was in his 20s then.
Back then, low 20s or low 20s?
No,
or high 20s.
Let me see. He was born in 55. 35. I think it was like his mid 20s. He was in mid 20s.
Yeah.
Because for a 25-year-old coming to my 17-year-old, I'm popping him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
V, I love you
so much.
But Bobby
and then
Brown
V coming for you, Dwayne. Look at that.
R&B. All right. He is not the king of R&B.
He is.
Repeat that one more time.
He is the king.
It's my prerogative.
He's the king.
I can do what I want to do.
He said the slight difference is abuse was directly tied to the talent in one instance and indirect in the other. Because I remember someone saying, he always get a new girl, he get a new song. So I was thinking like that's a lot from his inspiration. Yeah. It was right. So like
so there were some songs he would sound more mature, like for you, and then there'd be other songs he would do that'll be titled "Throw Your Thing." Oh, I got it. I get it.
Oh, it makes sense now.
It makes plenty of sense.
This is where I'm at on R. Kelly.
Oh man,
I'm a Christian who enjoys all of God's gifts. Anything that God has given us, I enjoy. So I listen to some R&B music. I don't listen to. There's some things that just don't jive with my spirit, and I can't do that. But I listen to R&B all the time. Right. I can honestly say that I haven't played an R. Kelly song before the release of the Netflix special.
Yeah.
So I don't listen to him anymore. But it's hard because I look back and I say it's hard to think about it, not to not listen to him, because I think back from the time I was in the 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. From the time I was in the 5th grade, R. Kelly had hits that I knew about, and people my age. Yeah. Hey, Mr. DJ. I was in the 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't say no.
Hey, you shut your mouth. I'm a grown man.
You got that vibe. Yes, I know.
You can't cancel my singing.
Public service announcement right there. That's
look, man, you trying to do me like Sam do me now? That's what you trying to do? You trying to do me like Sam do me?
You know, well, since
I know I ain't Cole. See, Cole making that I can't even do this on the show no more.
No, okay, watch this. Girl, lay it on me. Boom. See, right there. See what I'm saying?
Hold on. I'm gonna do one better. Right there. That's don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that again.
No, you didn't. That's what cancel me off the broadcast. See, that's how we talk.
That's a cancel. That's an instant.
Lord.
Instant cancel. I see.
He made my point though. He made my point. Cancel culture. He canceled me off the broadcast. Why? Because you didn't sound like I'm singing. Bias.
No, because you
no.
See,
no. You got it. There's a difference though. I pulled an ESPN on you right there. That was the ESPN move right there.
ESPN move.
You pulled a plug on me.
So you pierced him. Is that what you're saying?
Right. I did.
Stop.
Now, if people in the crowd saying cancel, get him off. He's hurt my ears, and then I cancel. That would be a cancel culture right
there. Terry just made my point about R. Kelly, right? Although I know that song and I know the words of the song, right? That song didn't remind me of R. Kelly. You know what that song did? It reminded me of a moment in time in my life. So every time I hear that, I got to fight with Lisa Ray on a pole at the beginning of the Players Club. That's what music does for me. It puts me wherever I was when I heard it, or it relates experiences for me. That's why I stopped listening to R. Kelly, because R. Kelly for me, what it represented was a whole lot of brokenness, although it was fun while it was going on. That's why I can't. And it's crazy because I haven't even thought about Players Club outside of me thinking about Bernie's Mac humor until Terry just he started that. And when he started that, it's like, yep, Pink this.
Yeah.
Coming around this way with this out. And I'm just like, that's why. See, for me, music has always been, it creates a mood and then it feeds the mood that it creates. That's why I'm careful with music. And that's why I started being careful with R. Kelly a long time ago. Because anybody who can go from the studio and make the raunchiest song about a remote control talking about sex and then turn around and make a whole gospel album, that's some influence that will mess you up.
That shows the genius, though.
In my life for you. I mean, I've heard all this stuff. And then V hits me with the remix to Your Body's Calling. To the K, to the E, to the L, to the Y. I mean, I hear all this stuff and remember it all. I get it, man. I do. But
boy, I couldn't be cold. If I was you, I'd be singing on my podcast every day.
So minded.
But I mean, you gotta start singing quote now. You gotta start singing quote.
Deborah, I don't think it was. I don't think it was double-minded. I think it just showed the genius. I mean, maybe slightly double-minded, but.
I mean, unchecked man.
Well, you know what? I will say this:
unchecked man.
So, like we have our dumb moments,
and
then we have our revelation moments, right? Yeah. You realize, you're trying to get it together, and I'm sure those moments when he was trying to get right were the moments he wrote those great songs.
Yeah,
he's inspired. He read the word. He heard the word.
Well, he did have that album. Yeah,
so. Yeah, all R. Kelly songs playing at weddings, right?
And then 15-year-old came right around him, and he's like, "Oh, I got to write a song about her." Yeah,
right. Unfortunately, so I listen. We need to be unbiased in our cancel culture. We either cancel them all or we keep them all.
Exactly.
That's
cancel culture is probably biased.
Well, I mean, for me, R. Kelly could step in the name of love completely out of my life. I mean.
He can step right on that.
Yeah. Step, side to side, bring it back. And let me see you do a love slide all the way out of here. Yes.
And now I'm at the club stepping.
You know what, though? Step in the Name of Love was it's part of the culture.
I was at JR's in Arizona stepping when you started singing that. See,
if you
took me back to Arizona.
If you go to Chicago,
I ain't do it. He left.
Oh, you know,
I ain't do it.
If you go to Chicago, stepping is a thing. It's part of the culture. That is when you go to.
So that culture thing, right? Like, if someone is out of pocket in who they are, right, and they're the worst of the worst. Let's make R. Kelly really bad. Like, let's make him Sandusky on crack. Like, and for all these years, like, let's just make it real bad, and he gets locked up, right? Should we continue to support? Because we know every time you play his music, he gets a piece, right? Well, we know he gets. You play on Apple Music, he gets 2 cents.
It depends.
What do you mean?
I don't think his catalog is on Apple Music.
I think you can illegally. I think you can illegally download it now and not get charged.
Well, all right. All right. Stop pulling an order. Like, he ain't really getting paid for this.
Right? No, I feel you.
So let me say this. I'm gonna answer this because I have to go. But
no, you don't.
Yeah. It's Monday. I gotta go.
No,
I can do 15 minutes and I'm going. But with R, I think that for the most part, in most parts of this country, they will probably cancel him and never play another R. Kelly record ever, right? But in Chicago, where he is from, he is ingrained in Chicago culture. They will never cancel him in Chicago.
Yeah, but is that right?
They will play Step.
I don't even think that
they're not going to do it.
I think there's other places that respect him more than Chicago.
But is that right?
Did y'all ever see the episode of the Boondocks? The trial of R. Kelly. Remember that? And Huey told them. He said, "You never." And excuse my French. He said that never underestimate the level of R. Kelly.
Ashley said, "I have a question concern. So we forgive R. Kelly, Diddy, OJ. OJ didn't do it, except
OJ did it.
And we they've done a lot for our culture. So what does that say about our Black culture?
I don't know if you can put OJ in there for that last statement.
Yeah. Because OJ ain't been Black since college.
What they say about it's the same thing. It is just not publicized. So what we're not going to do is say that everybody on this list you just named has made mistakes. Now you can't tell me there's not a white musical artist that made some.
You can't listen. We're having our culture, like
our culture is no different than anybody else's.
But it's us. But I'm saying we're talking. My thing is. What I don't like sometimes, we always compare, like, what about the white people? I don't care what the white people do. Our culture, our family, our people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're 13%. That was the name of this conversation. We're 13% in this country.
We ought
to be sticking together in this 13% and have an understanding of protecting our culture.
13% of it.
We have the African Americans. Our culture starts, unfortunately, for the most part, at slavery. You know what I'm saying? Because they stripped us of our culture. Let's keep it 100. We don't know. Most of us don't know what happened before the boats.
We don't.
We all got slave masters' last names. So this is our culture. We have to protect what little we got. Was it 400? We got about 400 years.
Oh, we created this though.
You know what I'm saying? But
we created.
What do we do? What did Dre do?
Dre beat up Michelle A and slapped T-Bars around a couple times.
And D Barnes, he beat up D Barnes as well.
Wait a minute. So Mac 10 let that happen?
Right. Thank you guys. She said, "Ooh, way to bring them together." We're gonna talk about that tomorrow, brothers. Yeah, I know Terry won't be here, brother. But I'll talk about that tomorrow.
Save it for Thursday, man. Save it for Thursday.
But but we do forgive, Ashley. We absolutely forgive. Here's the thing. People got a skewed vision and version, if you will, of forgiveness. Most people, forgiveness looks like, okay, somebody AD shot. He shot. No, okay, something happened extremely bad, right? And
all right,
me and AD have
Terry,
a falling out.
take care.
All right, brother, man. And me and AD was right in the middle of us having issues.
Right.
As a Christian, I gotta forgive my brother, or who am I to ask for it, right?
Right, no doubt.
However, just because I forgive him doesn't mean that he gets the same access and the same level of respect that he used to. So I'm not saying we're what's done can't be undone.
Right.
So yeah, I forgive all of them.
Right.
As far as whatever it matters to me. And most of the time I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. He's a bigger version of me. He's a more talented version of me in whatever thing that they're doing. I forgive them, but they don't have the same place in my life. Before, I would undoubtedly argue with anybody who said there was a better male R&B singer than R. Kelly, or talent. I would argue with you until I was dead.
What's up,
Peace, Mark? But now I'm cool. He don't get no spins off of me.
So I was sitting there thinking, right? Like, so we have our culture, right? And some people have laid the foundation. Let's just say, Neo.
What Neo do?
I know we're gonna go down this rabbit. Don't go down the rabbit hole of all these folks.
I'm feeling out of touch.
Like I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. That's the WB frog right there. So what?
Did you just call Neo the frog?
Me and Tim always. She said it first, and I was like, "That's right." If you look at him, No, think about the WB frog.
You need to DM Neo on IG and ask him for forgiveness for making that statement. Wow.
All right. So if someone black created StreamYard, right, and that's what what we're using to go live. So it's a foundation. And we find out like it was R. Kelly that created it, right? So us being on here gets him paid. It's our foundation. It's part of our culture, and we want to cancel. But he's created such a great product. You know what I'm saying? Like, What do you do then? You know, and I was sitting there thinking about that. Like, what do you do then? I mean, you can't negate contribution. But at the same time, and this is kind of off a little bit, sometimes I feel like we placate and we pacify folks because of their creativity. DMX was able to not really be held hardcore accountable for, sorry guys, for hardcore accountable because he was on drugs for a long time, but because he made great music. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's the reason why people don't hold DMX accountable.
And
I think his rawness and his transparency is why people look at DMX different. DMX wasn't like the typical person who was just messing up.
Right.
Like his heart and his emotions was on the sleeves. That's what set him apart. He would talk about it, and he didn't make it okay. Never did he make it okay.
Okay, so I mean, so DMX. What about like Michael Jackson? Because he's been on drugs forever, and even I don't know. Prince has kind of been the question mark. I think even not Prince, because I think Prince. They said something about there may be foul play, but so let's leave him out for now. Right. But a lot of artists, allowed to be reckless, but we don't hold them. They're not held accountable because of their artistry. You know what I'm saying? Like if you've seen any of the R. Kelly Lifetime joint, you know, his people around him was like helping him.
You're absolutely right. Remember I said that earlier?
Yeah.
And that's I really do mean it. And I think the thing is we can't be appalled at the end of the story, but see it happening throughout the story and never be like beside ourselves.
Right.
And in that vein, you're absolutely right. It's a sticky subject. because there's so much that goes into it.
Right.
Like and the physical abuse, the abandonment issues, and then the drugs issues from.
Because I think like even, you know, with Dr. Dre and his abuse, I'm sure somebody was around when he was laying hands on somebody. You know, like it wasn't always just one or two people, personal or whatever. You know, I always think about, you know, people that are in your crew. You know, I'm feeding off of your fame. You know, my house, my car, my life is off of your fame. So you falling means my paycheck stops. You know, I stopped getting that $4,000 or $5,000 a week, you know, and whatever I'm doing, just carrying bag, whatever it is, you know. So
but remember what I said to you earlier and I'm gonna say it now.
Yeah.
And I see you, by the way, Richard. I see you, bro. Remember you said Russell Simmons?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the beef, right? Here's not even the beef, but here's the rub.
Right.
DMX single-handedly pulled Def Jam up by the bootstraps.
Right, because
those of you that don't know, they were going under, and then out of nowhere, DMX goes platinum twice in 10 months. Still to this day, the only artist to ever do it twice in a year. But in 10 months, 9.5 months, he went platinum twice and made Def Jam relevant again.
Right.
And made Russell a whole lot of money. Made Jay-Z a whole lot of money. Anybody who's on Def Jam now should be paying homage to DMX.
Right.
Now, with him being that for your company that you've probably made a couple $100 million off of since, I believe that you should be a person that, regardless of how many no's you give me, I'm going to aggravate you to death, making sure you good.
Right. You would think so.
But at the same time, as a parent, and I know the relationship ain't even a father-parent relationship, but even as a parent, there comes a point where it's like, okay, got to go fall on your face.
I guess. I feel you. I feel you.
Swiss Beats was always there for him.
Right,
wrong, or indifferent. I think DMX's heart. It's funny that you said DMX, because do you remember the story he had about R. Kelly? Oh, he did. They interviewed him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna paraphrase, and I'm gonna use my language.
Right.
He was like, "So I'm doing an interview with this Robert Kelly, and I'm in the studio, and he talking through a door to me, son. You know, you like real talk. He's got a crack in the door, and he's talking to me. I know you had a crack in the door. You had a crack in the door because you had a teenage girl in there, which are nasty.
Wow.
But just
right.
Like everything that DMX did in his music career hurt DMX. R. Kelly's music career was preying on other people. I mean, I'm not even talking about the psychological hurt that a person brings to the family when something happens. I'm talking about the physical, the direct. But outside of that, you're absolutely right, brother. We do we let people talent. We give them a license that we wouldn't give the typical person. You can't do what R. Kelly did. You couldn't do it. You'd have been in jail a long time ago. True. But when you got a couple $1 million, when you can put a couple people on and give them some contracts, change some lives, you know what? It's okay. Right. You done got 4 people up out this neighborhood and they eating up.
Right. Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
All right. Let me read a couple of comments and we're going to get out of here. He said, people admire his transparency. I'm talking about DMX. He knew about his lifestyle. And he said, if I die today, I'll die happy. He is the epitome of seize the day. McNair said, you have to know where your boundary lines lie. While we compromise, there has to be a deal breaker, right? And Willette said, drugs and abuse is glanced over in our culture because of what you just said, AD. That's unfortunate, just facts. You talking about a truck and car. that was different. So shouldn't we stop glorifying drugs abuse in our music and movies? Yes, indeed. And that is a rabbit hole we can go down and talk about. That's a whole nother show. That is a whole nother show.
Yeah, that's
a whole nother.
Because that's going to be an argument. Not an argument. It's going to be a nice debate.
It's going to be a discussion and debate. Because I will say this. Yeah, you bust out. Like I've been listening to some old stuff, and I'm like, man, did I really listen to this? And you start listening to the lyrics, like, man, this is okay. So it's interesting having an adult revelation about the music you used to listen to as a child. So we will, but I will say that is a yes. We should stop glorifying it. I know a lot of time music is a result of lifestyle or the way someone has lived. So they're just kind of telling stories. Some are true, some are not. Some are just the life of someone else they knew. But yeah, it definitely should stop being glorified in certain respects. But yeah, we'll definitely dig into that. Maybe tomorrow.
Hey.
I'm gonna hit my brothers up. Is it be that or my 13%?
Hey, I'm look. We could talk. There's so much in the music. Like,
I mean,
yeah. No, I'm just saying there's so much to the conversation because it is art, right. and generations get blamed for things that I don't think are the generation's fault. And in music, that'd be I'm down for that conversation whenever, because I've seen music go from just a quick question and then you go out. What was disrespectful for you, AD? When you heard something in music when you was a teenager, what would you consider the most disrespectful thing you heard as a teenager? Maybe Tupac.
I mean, yeah, Pac. Me and NWA, they were the roughest.
Well, I'll put it like this. My little cousin from Duval, from Jacksonville, he sent me a video. And the video literally was talking about like when you kill somebody now, and they say we smoking on whatever, that's their way of dissing somebody. There's a song called "Who I Smoke,"
right?
And it's to the white girl theme. The 1,000 Mile song.
Wow.
And they're literally naming names about who they smoke in the song.
Oh,
there's a lot there, and some of it I don't think it's a generational thing, but I think that's a great conversation to have. But right. if I may, the only thing I want to say is I got introduced to DMX when I was a freshman. No, I'm sorry, a junior in high school, and it was his prayer off his second album. He was like, "I thank you, Lord, for my birth and everything that follows. I thank you, Lord, for today, and I will pray for tomorrow. I thank you, Lord, for the love of my wife, the love of my life, and a friend. I made a promise I'm loving my wife to the end. I thank you, Lord, for your guidance, because it's all that counts. And right here, right now, Lord, this is your house. I thank you, Lord, for a dream that came true to light." It's DMX. I'm not going to continue. X was my boy. X was troubled. X reminded me of myself a lot. Because he wanted victory and he found himself doing things that he didn't want to do and didn't know how to stop himself from doing, kind of like what Paul described. But at the end of the day, I just want people to know that people are people.
Right.
And we all fall and we all human and we all have fights. Give each other your flowers while you're here.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
indeed. Give each other. I love thank every one of y'all for always showing up, always posting, always commenting, always sharing. We appreciate it. We appreciate the fact that you guys can spend an hour plus with us every day. It says that you think what we got is valuable, which confirms what AD already knows.
Yes, indeed. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We appreciate you. Cole is in the building, but we got to roll.
No,
it's just I got to roll. I apologize. So we see you guys tomorrow. We'll probably talk more about this. All right, guys. Be blessed.
I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another. Good morning.